Ahead and open the Common Council meeting this evening. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please, Carol.
Steve Beardsley is absent. Isaac Chavez. John Large.
Here.
Megan Sheets.
Present.
Robert Stevens.
Present.
Clarence Worthen.
Present.
Eric Woods.
Present.
Okay, next we have the minutes from the January 8th, 2024. That's a correction on there, isn't it? 2024 regular meeting.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I listed it
okay.
wrong on the agenda, didn't I?
Yes.
I move we accept the minutes for January the 8th.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Sorry, I'm catching up to my.
That's okay.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, minutes passed. Next, we have public comments. Does somebody have the public? Okay. Thank you. Okay, and we have several signed up this evening for public comments. You have 3 minutes to speak, and then we'll go on to the next person after that. The first one this evening is, who's going to time this? I'll time it. You'll time it? Okay. First one up is Chief Scott Shoemaker.
All right. I don't have any prepared remarks. I want to speak from the heart. I think it's a very humbling experience to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States with everybody out in the hallway. So I want to make sure that I'm not, we're at the police department, we deal with people who have lived here and work here, pay taxes here, shop here, and do a lot. And then we are faced with having to arrest them because they don't have a driver's license. And I know that this doesn't rest with you all here tonight. I understand that this is a legislator matter at the state, but it's also a failure of our federal government to make action on immigration. And so that's why it's here, because our federal government is not doing their job. And I know there's a lot of people here to speak tonight on that, and we're here not to attack the city or put pressure on you, but I want you to understand that your police department spends a lot of time and manpower on this issue. Hit and runs, driving without insurance, and driving without a license. The very people that we work with every day in our community. I have surveyed nearly our entire department, and I've yet to find one officer who doesn't support this. As a vice president of the Chiefs of Police Association, we support this bill. Many people support this bill. Find me somebody, an organization that doesn't support it. So I'm asking on behalf of our community, on behalf of your police officers, and again, I understand that you do not create law in Indiana, but you do have a voice, just like me, and I will definitely be at the State House pushing for this bill when it comes time again next year. But we need to support this to free our officers up to actually go after criminals, people who are committing crime in our community. And so that's all I have to say to you. I just ask that you at least consider understanding, again, it's not your job. It's not your job, but it's also your ability just to stand up for your community, and I'd ask for you to do that. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Lori North.
Good evening. My name is Lori North, and I have worked for the Community Schools of Frankfort, Indiana, since 1989, starting my career as a 4th and 5th grade teacher and finishing up my career as the Director of Multilingual Learners for the district. I have 2 brief stories to share with you this evening. The first is of a 5-year-old girl who always looked forward to traveling with her family each summer to spend time with family and friends. Because the car was crowded, she usually sat in the front seat between her parents. This allowed her to see all the knobs and dials, and she was particularly interested in the speedometer and how it related to the signs they were passing by. This young girl got in so much trouble each summer because she couldn't stop herself from fretting about her father exceeding the speed limit and wondering what would happen if they got pulled over by the police. Fast forward to that same 30-year-old young mother driving home from her parents' house after dark with her newborn son. As she pulled out of the driveway, she realized that one of her headlights was not working, and she began to worry about getting pulled over by the police. The bright lights worked really well, so every car she met on her way home that night got to see those bright lights instead of the missing light. In the first story, the little girl was me, and I truly had nothing to worry about because my dad had a driver's license and the car was registered. In the second story, the new mom was me, and I was afraid of getting pulled over, even though I had a driver's license and my car was registered. I am here this evening asking that you consider passing a resolution supporting the bill that would provide a pathway for our community members to drive legally if they meet the requirements described in the bill. A driving privilege card would allow drivers and their families to feel more secure as they travel to work, to school, or to the store, while also making our community and state a safer place for all of us to drive. We spend a great deal of time in our school district trying to ensure that all of our students feel safe in school each day. We know that when students feel safe, it is easier for them to concentrate and therefore learn. As educators, we certainly can't control all of the stressors that come to school with our students. We can, however, as a community, support this bill that would alleviate the stress regarding driving and allow more of our community members to drive legally in our city. Thank you.
Miguel Garza.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Mi nombre es Miguel Garza.
My name is Miguel Garza.
Soy pastor de una iglesia hispana aquí en Frankfort, Indiana.
I'm a pastor of a church here in Frankfort, Indiana.
Y quisiera compartir rápidamente en los años 2000-2004
And I want to share very briefly in the years 2000 to 2004,
corrió una ley aquí en Indiana
there was a law here in the state of Indiana
que decía que no era igual el número o el nombre que se está usando en la licencia.
that said that the number or the name on the license was not the same.
Esto nos obligó a muchas personas a no poder conducir legalmente.
That obligated a lot of people to not be able to drive legally.
Y ese tiempo para mí fue muy complicado poder ir a trabajar, comprar mis alimentos, la ropa, llevar un sustento a casa.
That point of time was really difficult, not being able to go to the grocery
Muchas
store,
personas-
go to work, being able to take money
Muchas
home.
personas, el caso mío, no podía reclamar algún tipo de ayudas.
Like people like me couldn't really claim any sort of assistance.
Dependía totalmente de un trabajo.
I depended completely on a job.
Si alguien no me daba un ride para el trabajo,
If somebody didn't give me a right to go
lo
to
iba
work,
a perder con toda seguridad.
I was going to lose the job with all security.
Hoy las cosas han cambiado,
Today things have changed.
ya tengo una licencia
I have a license.
y trato de, por la experiencia que viví, de ayudar a mucha gente que está pasando por lo que yo ya pasé.
And because of the experience that I went through, I tried to help as many people as I can.
Y creo con todo mi corazón que sería una gran bendición
And I believe with all my heart that this would be a great blessing,
que la gente pudiera manejar legalmente.
that people would be able to drive
Yo
legally.
entiendo que las leyes son difíciles,
I understand that laws are difficult,
pero hay gente que de todo corazón lo necesita. Necesita
But-
llevar el sustento a su hogar.
but there's people that truly need it with all their heart to be able
No
to provide
perder
for
el
their
hogar,
families, to
no
not lose
perder
their
el
home,
trabajo.
to not lose their job,
Poder tener una vida regular.
so they can have a regular life.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lucy Bond.
Good evening. My name is Lucy Bond, and for the first 29 years of my life, I was an undocumented immigrant. and I'm here to share my experience as an undocumented driver. Unlike most teenage new drivers, I knew getting in the driver's seat was going to carry significantly heavier consequences should I make a mistake, not just for me, but for my whole family. For those reasons, I did not drive unless absolutely necessary until I was ready to leave for college out of state. During that period, there was so much fear every time I sat in that seat. Fear of separation from my family or deportation from the only home I'd ever known. Would this be the day that I got caught? Would this be the day that I ruined my future because I had to get to school or to the store or to the doctor? Not to mention the stress and anxiety passing a patrol car and the constant checking of mirrors to make sure I wasn't being followed. After years of this, I was given the opportunity to become a Deferred Action Against Childhood Arrivals recipient. That in turn provided me with the opportunity to apply for a driver's license. When I tell you the incredible weight that fell off my shoulders, not just for me, but for everyone in my family, that at least one person was documented to drive legally, it was tremendous. My story has a happy ending, but this is not the case for the majority. My mother, for instance, was not one of them. In recent years, despite having studied the BMV road laws, having car insurance, and being an extra cautious driver, the fear of driving unlicensed grew to be too much for her. After multiple traffic stops for minor infractions, some that resulted in house arrest, she decided the risk was too great, and she chose to stop driving. Thankfully, I was able to step in as a licensed driver and shuttle her to and from work and anywhere else she needed to go. But what if she or I hadn't worked locally, and it didn't work with our schedules? Many individuals don't have access to resources to be able to survive without a license. 30 years after making a life in a new country for her and her children, facing too many obstacles with too much risk, my mother chose to move back to her home country and start over. Sadly, this isn't even an option for most. I share this as a grateful recipient of DACA that allowed me the opportunity to be a licensed driver. I am also a community member, a taxpayer, and a 30-year resident of this small but impactful community. I share this in the hopes that you will be able to put a face to the great need for a solution to a problem that is affecting your neighbors, your students, your children's friends, your coworkers, that affected me. We are Frankfort. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Melinda Grismer.
Hello, I'm here as the Learning Network Director, which I have been since 2007, and I mostly want to attest to the fact that there's a lot of demand to learn how to drive. We created a curriculum called Driver's Education for English Learners that was funded by the United Way in 2022, and we've had already in like a year and a half, 50 people going through this program. This driver privilege card would open up the door for more people to be able to learn how to pass the written part of the driver test, understand what's going on with all the signs, be able to become full participating members, and be insured, and for the entire community to know who's on the road. It makes us safer. There is no downside to a safer community, and that's what this would be if we allowed more people to drive legally. There is a great demand from the adult learners in this community to do the right thing, to be licensed, and this would give them a way to be licensed. There have been many, and you'll hear this from Ed, cities across the state of Indiana that have supported this with much fewer Latinos in their community than we have. And what you do today will be remembered by the people in this room. What you say to them is very important. Any excuse you give will not be seen in that way. What you do today makes a big difference to the people you go to church with, the people that you live as next door neighbors with, the people that work for you or with you, or who your children play with, who you go to school with. This is one of the biggest communities in the state of Indiana, with the third biggest community of Latinos. And this resolution should be passed by this city, that is supported not by birth over death residents that were born here, but by immigrants who support this economy. So I implore you as leaders of this community to consider that people want a way to do this right, and this gives them a way to do it right.
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda Cruz. The first part of what I'm about to say is actually a message from City Councilman Dave Morris. He's a city councilman from Logansport, Indiana, and Logansport passed a resolution for the driving privilege card. Here is my thought on the issue of a driving privilege card for an individual who's an Indiana resident and cannot provide proof of identity and a lawful status in the United States, and more precisely in our communities. As a council member for Logansport, when we were approached to support the bill allowing this, I reached out to Zach. Zach is an amazing advocate for immigrants who have the difficulty with the issues associated with immigration. One of the things that truly sold me on supporting such a bill is that I never realized that in Logansport, how many individuals fall under this category, approximately 1,500. And just for you to know, I ran the math today based on our demographics. Roughly, we have even a little bit higher than 1,500 people that are affected by this in Clinton County. Most of these individuals are employed doing jobs that no one else desires to do because of the nature of the work. They support our city in so many ways, and many have lived here long enough that their children are citizens by birth, yet their parents are not allowed to obtain a regular driver's license to be able to do things such as drive to the grocery, church, schools, or work. To me, in essence, it is a local issue in the sense that these individuals have been allowed to live and work in our communities and be productive workers who support our local economy and spend their hard-earned money locally. So why would we not allow these individuals the same quality of life that we have? That being the right to have a driving privilege card, the right to raise their family like you and I, doing the things that the rest of us take for granted. As a council member, I took the responsibility of representing all the people that live in Logansport. My focus is on how I can make everyone who resides here have the best quality of life that we can offer. A driving privilege card would be a step in the right direction for many of our residents. Their improved quality of life would in turn improve the quality of life of everyone in Logansport. It's just the right thing to do. We are down here in the trenches, and it is our responsibility to communicate to our state representatives and senators what is the best for the overall living conditions of our cities. And on my behalf, I just want to highlight Clinton and Cass are among the top 4 counties with the largest Hispanic population in the state. Over 54% of the student body in the community schools of Frankfort identify as Hispanic. And according to the 2020 census, over 28% of the community members in Frankfort identify in the same way. In a perfect world, you wouldn't need to be asked for a resolution on this matter. But the reality is that you are more aware of the struggles due to the state's inaction on Senate Bill 248. I urge you, please, to not follow the state's footsteps in our ask for a resolution in favor of the driving privilege card. They are hiding behind the word constituents to not pass Senate Bill 248. The difference between state legislators and you, as our city council, is that you are our neighbors. You are our co-workers. You are our friends. We share a home. Please put the driving privilege card on the agenda so that you can vote on a resolution in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed Rodriguez.
Pick this microphone up. Ed Rodriguez, 11746 Lawndale, Plymouth, Indiana. I think that's protocol. Well, we've heard wonderful testimony. Anytime I hear real live testimony from people who have been affected by this, it really touches me. If you've never been in these shoes, you just really can't understand what we experience, the fear and the anxiety. We've spoke to you on several occasions, and each time I try and thank you for the opportunity to be here before you, representing your community. These are your neighbors. These are your friends, as Esmeralda just said. The police chief spoke very eloquently about how your police officers feel about this. This is not a statewide issue at this particular point in time. This is Frankfort, Indiana. This is who we're talking about. I think I brought this up before, that there's 50 senators and 100 representatives in the entire state of Indiana. And sad to say, there's not one in this room right now. So you will not vote on this bill proposal in now 2025. Senate Bill 248 has now been converted into Senate Bill 138. For those of you that are writing down so that you can do extensive research. There have been some modifications to the Senate bill and thus the assignment of a different number. And for those of you that do not understand the bill proposal, I want to kind of hit the highlights once again of the things that are being talked about in this bill. These folks will not be allowed to vote. Let's begin with that. Who is going to vet this driving privilege card is the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles. There's nobody else better fit to do this. These individuals must pass a written test, they must pass a practical test, and then they will be issued a driving privilege card. These folks must also prove residency in the state of Indiana for a minimum of 1 year. They must provide proof of income and pay in taxes to the state of Indiana. These are things outside the realm of what you and I have to do when we go get our driver's licenses. We have estimated, because we truly don't know, the census is not very accurate, unfortunately, but our estimates are that there are, in the state of Indiana, 800,000 undocumented residents. This driving privilege card, on an annual basis, these folks will have to pay $50 every year. We pay $17.50 for 5 years. If anybody's, my time's up already. Just can I go just a little bit for make my point? One last point.
Okay.
800,000 residents, $50 a year. If somebody wants to do the math, we're talking about a $40 million income from this sector. $40 million, and the card is only valid for 1 year. Every 5 years, do the math of the income that will be generated. Furthermore, these folks must carry full coverage insurance. We want to talk about a country of law and order. This is the way that we harness this population and force them to drive legally. Legally. They will understand the rules of the road, the signage, speed, no more hit and runs, as the chief said. Our insurance will drop. It is beneficial for all of us. And I would urge you, once again in closing, I'm sorry, Alicia, I'm sorry. In closing, I would urge you, as we spoke in November, to please consider. We are not mandating a thing. We are asking you to please consider passing a resolution showing the state of Indiana that the city of Frankfort supports this legislation. It is vital. You're the third largest in the entire state of Indiana in terms of population. And I think it is important that these people hear you vote individually so that you will stand up and say, I disagree with you, or I agree and stand with you. That's what we need to see from the city of Frankfort. I thank you very much. I apologize for extending my time.
Thank you.
Are there two council members who would like to make a motion and a second to approve a resolution at this time?
I'd like to make a motion in favor of Resolution 138, considering driving privilege for undocumented residents in the state of Indiana.
Can I clarify something here? So would this resolution come at the next meeting if that's what we vote, right?
Correct.
Because we do not have anything prepared tonight. A motion's been made. Do I have a second? No second? So we can't move forward on the resolution. We just have one, so, yes.
I was just invited here at the last minute. Working with the Hispanic community as well. You just give me 2 minutes. I'm not one of the speakers or anything like that, but I've been working with this. And I just want, if it is permitted, I humbly ask that you just give me 2 minutes,
No.
if that is possible, please. Worker, I'm a social worker, I've been working with this community at United Way Agency, just 2 minutes. Would that be okay?
Yeah, yeah.
I humbly ask.
We have a public sign-in sheet, and unfortunately, we have to have people sign in order to keep order for the meeting. And so we did have everyone who wanted to speak sign in at the beginning of the meeting. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's okay, there's another meeting, I'll make sure.
The public sign-in sheet is right outside the door, so at the next meeting, if you do want to speak, we encourage you to sign in on that sheet. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Anything else on this? Okay, next, are we ready for the public hearing then? Are you ready for that, Carol? Yes. Okay, next, I'm going to recess the council meeting and open the public hearing on ordinance number 24-01. Do you want to tell us what 2401 is?
This is pertaining to ordinance, an additional appropriation ordinance that allows us to spend our ARPA funds. They have to be reappropriated each year. So we have appropriated the amount of $791,386, which is our remaining ARPA balance. And it did pass on first reading at the last meeting, so we're now obligated to hold our public hearing and bring it in for second reading.
This is 2401, yes. Yeah. Is there any comments or questions? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. I guess I didn't say the time. 7:28. I think I closed it before like 26. So if you want to make note of that. Okay, next on the agenda is ordinance number 24-02, and that is for the additional appropriation ordinance that Carol just told us about.
It's 2401.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2401, sorry, second reading.
I'll make the motion that we approve ordinance 2401 on second reading.
I'll second
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
that. Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, ordinance number 24-01 passes on second and final reading. Next, we have ordinance number 24-02, and this is additional appropriation, and this is concerning the police department. So Carol, you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so the police have estimated that they're going to, actually Chief Shoemaker estimated that he's going to need more funds for his natural gas fuel for both of the buildings this year in the amount of $8,000. And then last summer, I believe in July, we did an additional appropriation for $29,500. Actually, it was a little more than that for utility connections at the new police station out of rainy day, and it was approved. We did not get it spent in '23, so we are required to bring that back as an additional appropriation again so that we can spend that, add it to the budget and spend it.
And this can only be on first reading tonight because we have to have a public hearing for additional appropriations.
Correct. So we'll if it passes tonight, we'll do a public hearing at the next meeting on second reading.
Did we talk about moving this to Board of Works?
Moving.
The fuel expense for the old police station?
Part of it is for the new police station too, on this particular amount.
For both buildings?
Yes. Is that correct, Chief?
For your new building or for both? For the new building? This is
It's
just for the.
just for the new building? I thought it was, that's what I thought, okay.
I'll move to read ordinance 2402 by title.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez. John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets. Robert Stevens. Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods. Additional appropriation ordinance number 24-02.
Have a motion to pass this on first reading.
I'll make the motion, we approve ordinance 2402 on first reading.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Who was my second? Mr. Stevens, thank you. Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, ordinance number 24-02 passes on first reading. I think we're going to make a little change here, right, on the,
Yes, we're going to skip ahead to Resolution 24-02, if that's okay with you, Mayor.
yes, resolution number 24-02, a resolution amending the resolution number of ordinance number 23-20. Do you want to talk to us about that?
Yes, we inadvertently gave two ordinances in 2023 the same number. It was the salary ordinance and the ADA ordinance as described in this resolution. So we need to renumber the salary ordinance to make it a consecutive number.
I'll move to pass resolution 2402.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Thank you.
So ordinance number 24-03, that is the number that we're given, that is the correct.
The number that we are going to use, it's for the salary, the last amended salary ordinance. It is now 23-21 rather than 23-20.
Okay.
That's what that resolution just described. And now that we have a new salary ordinance being brought up for first reading, a new amendment, we have to refer back to that number, so we wanted to get that correct before we look at the salary ordinance.
Okay, so we're going to, that's the amended ones, 24.
Yes.
Okay. Could I have a motion to read this by title only?
No. Would you go through that again?
So basically, what we did is we amended the salary ordinance last year and we put the wrong number on it. So we just did a resolution to correct the number. Now we are amending the salary ordinance again. That new amendment that we're doing today refers to the old amendment, which now has the correct number. So we had to do the resolution first, so that way we could refer to the correct number in the new amendment that we're doing today.
Okay, I got it.
Could I have a motion to read either by title only or its entirety?
Make the motion that we read an ordinance 2403 by title only.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez. John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
City of Frankfort Common Council Ordinance Number 24-03, an ordinance amending and restating Ordinance Number 23-21, setting the salaries and hourly wages for employees of the civil city of Frankfort, Indiana.
So did you all get the memo from me on the changes that I'm making? I think Carol had a couple. But what I would like to have changed is senior building inspector, which we talked about this at the last meeting, to $60,000 from $49,194.60. And what we will do is transfer the money from the part-time line in Building Services Department budget to the building inspector line. Street Department Superintendent, I would like to increase it to $80,155.30. It's currently $76,155.30. The additional $4,000 would be a transfer from the health insurance line in the sanitation budget to the superintendent's line. The council, or the Board of Works, did pass a different, or an amended job description for the street superintendent. One of the things is he's the ERC, right, Jason? ERC. And also he's working on another certification, plus just the added responsibilities that he's been given. So I'd like to give him $4,000. His $76,155.30 is being paid out of MVH right now. So this would just be $4,000 would be taken out of the sanitation budget. We increased health insurance this year, $8,000, so I felt like we would have the extra $4,000 to transfer up. So that was the ones that I asked. And I ask if you would consider passing this on first and second reading. And then I know Carol said she had a couple.
Mine, I did not highlight them. We had a couple of changes in my staff a couple of meetings ago, and we just had some differences in the biweekly amount that weren't correct, and we corrected those to match the annual amount. And you'll notice that the building inspector and the superintendent line have an extra 20 cents and 10 cents respectively. That's so that the math will work with the biweekly salary.
Carol, were the two in your office just a matter of cents?
Yes.
Which ones were they, if you
It
know?
was the fifth line down and the sixth line down. So the clerk treasurer operations, accounts payable, and the clerk treasurer and court clerk. So those actually, the differences were in the biweekly amounts. They hadn't been calculated correctly. So we just corrected that. The annual amount that you approved did not change at all.
Okay.
It was just a math issue.
And I'd also like to retroactive the street superintendent's salary, beginning the first of the year.
Retroactive. That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I personally know how hard Jason works for it. He deserves it.
I agree.
What he does for us as far as getting grants for us, for our CCMG, our Phase 3 MASH Road. I mean, those things are big. That takes a lot of time for him and a lot of research. And, you know, we're lucky to have him, because if we didn't have him able to do that, we would be getting that done with a consulting firm that would be way more. Yeah. Probably in the $15,000 to $20,000 range.
Per project.
Yeah, per project, yes.
Mayor, I'll move to suspend the rules so that we can pass 2403 on both readings.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez. John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Have a motion to pass it?
I make a motion, we pass ordinance 2403 on first and second reading.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I'd second it.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 24-03 passes on first and second reading. Thank you. Also, in your packet, I believe, which one was it? We're not going to do the three.
2403.
2403, there is a resolution. I don't know if there's any interest to bring that before the council tonight, or if it's something that you would like to consider, and let me know if you want it on the next agenda. It's talking about the street widths and the UDO.
Mayor, I think in the interest of keeping the entire council up to speed on that, we should probably ask Don Stock to prepare a small presentation for us and bring it to the next meeting.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Is everyone okay with that by consensus? Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any, is that what, okay, old business?
We still have resolution 2401.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was going to skip right over that, Jason. Okay, resolution 2401. Thank you, Carol.
No problem.
I'll make the motion, we approve Resolution 2401.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, and that was to transfer the $4,000.10 from health insurance to the sanitation superintendent. Okay, now old business. Anybody have anything? Okay, and in your packet, I believe it was there. It's in here somewhere. We have so many things. The 2024 City Plan Commission. This has been updated, but it's not officially been voted on. I want you to know this was updated without any official action being taken. So for 2024, since Isaac is an elected official, he could not be in my appointment to City Plan Commission. So I have appointed Joseph Bookwalter to take over his term, and that would go through 2027. Now that there's a position open because, Rob Bogue was the council's appointment as an employee of the city. The council can appoint either council members or employees of the city as their appointments to city plan. And right now that is Megan and Greg Padgett. So you actually have an opening, and I didn't know if you would want to consider, or if Isaac would want to consider, being a council appointment on city plan with that opening.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Isaac Chavez as the council appointee to replace Ron Bogue.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez. John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, Isaac, you're back on. Hope that was okay with you. So now this is correct. The 2024 plan, City Plan Commission is correct. Thank you. Okay, we have CF1s for NHK and CF1 for Chair Curry.
Curry.
Sorry about that. So do we have any discussion? We don't have any representatives here. We kind of decided in the last couple of years not to go ahead and have representatives here unless we had any concerns or questions. So NHK actually has 4 CF1s.
Now, can someone tell me what all 4 of these represent? I mean, it seems like most of them have the same information on each. I don't know where I'm looking for. Is it property, inventory?
Okay, if you look at the top, it will say CF1 real property or the CF1 PP.
PP is your personal property, which is your
personal
equipment. Equipment that's used to do the business.
Okay, where,
Very top right-hand corner.
that little square?
Right here, form CF1, CF-1
Yeah, okay.
PP or
Okay.
CF1, yeah.
Okay,
And then they have typed in at the top, project 2015 or 2012. And there's 1 real and 1 personal for each of those years.
okay.
Look right here
okay.
above, right there, right
Yeah.
above the compliance, project 2012, project 2015.
Okay. Okay, I guess I need to educate myself how to read these.
It looks like to me that they are compliant,
Yes,
what I'm seeing, so, I mean, unless somebody has a question, or like I said, we haven't asked them in the last couple years to come and present to us, but
Do we have an abatement schedule for them? Is this the last year?
I don't have it with me. The 2012 would probably be winding down, I would guess. It would be attached to that
Yeah,
ordinance.
The original ordinance.
Resolution. This would probably, if it's a 10-year, this is.
This
last year.
was a special case of paying back improvements, was it not? I think they were supposed to send in basically a statement of cleanup. I don't know if maybe that expired, so I asked about the schedule. I can't remember it myself, but.
For the 2012, it says it's equipment to manufacture the seating. That was the one in 2012, and they don't have, same thing in the 2015 one. Salaries are significantly higher than what they
Yes.
projected, as well as the number of employees.
Jay Moore prepared all of these for NHK. I'm sure that,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was talking about the Chicuri.
oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
the Cherry Curry they have prepared their own this year. So I don't know if Jay would have that information on them. He had prepared that one before in the past, but this year they did their own.
I did ask him today if he had any information on that because I confirmed with him that he had done everything he was supposed to do with regard to them before I came to the meeting. And he said he did not have any information on that one and didn't know about about the CF1 this year. So
or
for Chiricahua, right.
Okay.
He did say that the NHK ones should be in compliance.
yeah, it looks like they're in compliance.
Yeah.
I think we probably should do these like maybe two separate, the NHK ones, could we do those and then?
Yeah, I think we can do all of the NHK ones together as long as you put in the motion what they all are. So the Project 2012 personal property, Project 2012 real property, Project 2000, and so on.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. As long as we get in the meeting minutes that we've approved all of them, it's fine.
Have a motion?
I will make a motion to approve, let's see, we got 2 real estate and 2 personal property? Is that how it's broken down?
Yes.
Yes.
One's a 2012, one's 2015.
It's all designated as 2 real estate and 2 personal property CF1s for NHK.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, those CF1s passed. Next, we have the Cherry and Frankfurt Plastics. It looks like they're in compliance as well. Their number of employees, they said 10 to 15, they have 14, and their salaries were 200,000 to 300,000, and they're at 451,000. So it looks like they're compliant as far as their number of employees and salaries.
I move we accept the CF1 for this company. I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Cherry Curry.
Cherry Curry.
Okay,
Don't
Cherry
look
Curry
at it, just think about it.
Incorporated.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, the CF1 passes. Okay, does anyone have anything else this evening? Oh, Megan does.
I do, yes. I just have something, a brief moment to take up your time just briefly. I passed out to all of you a SHARP summary, and I just wanted to do a quick presentation about that. along with Don Stock. I serve on the SHARP committee, and that is a senior homeowner assistance for repairs. They do repairs for the seniors and also accessibility modifications for homes, hoping that individuals can remain in their home longer. And the exciting news that I'm sharing with you is you can see from the inception of 2017 through to 2023, the additional homes that have been served as well as the total grant funds that have come through. It originates from the Federal Home Loan Bank. They have a specific amount of money that they grant for use. And this is administered through the Farmers Bank and through the city of Frankfort and through the county as well. It did not start with the county, but they joined in as the process unfolded. Of the 39 homes that were served in 23, 24 were within the city and 15 were within the county. And you can see how the grant funds have grown, and that is as a result of Tom Jameson, who is the administrator for the program. There were some modifications to the program, allowing a better fairness, if you will, in the distribution of funds and those applications waiting in queue. But to Tom Jameson's credit, he had a lot of things all ready to go at the very beginning of the process and in queue. So we were able to garner that. The main reason I bring this before you is that if you recall, we, as a city, allotted $2,000 more for this year than we had in the past. It originated in 2017 of $8,000, and since that time, there's been no increase from the city into the program. And $2,000 now means this year $10,000 they have to work with. So we wanted to see the additional that was approved in the budget. It's going to make a meaningful difference. This year, also the Federal Home Loan Bank, they are allowing more funds than in the past. I think there was a pot of about $600,000 in the past. This year it'll be $800,000, so that may also go to help garner more good within our community as well. So, but I just wanted you to see some hard numbers on how this has been accomplished in the program for the last few years and how we're gaining momentum in it. Thank you.
This has been very beneficial to our
It
community.
has been. Mhm.
It's been very helpful.
And I invite Don, if you have any other thoughts or comments. You covered it very well. All righty. Thank you. That was all, Mayor. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything for us tonight? I'll take the motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
I do have two things for you all to sign, so I'll pass those around.
What a day.